Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Katamari Forever. Go ahead and make yourself comfortable because we have another long stage on our hand this time around. We have Make a Star 11, as large as possible. Yes, we are creating the Big Bang, and as you can see we have 4 cousins and 2 presents on this stage in addition to the comet, so let's get started. Yes, our cousin for this week is Fumin, who I've equipped with the wings that we obtained last time around on the limited to 50 stage. And if you're a fan of cousins, I think you're going to be a fan of this stage, because not only are there 4 of them to collect here, but this stage in general does a really good job of showcasing all of the cousins in this game. It's one of those in which cousins you've rolled up on previous stages reappear, but the way in which they reappear is just really fantastic. So hold on a bit for that, because we're not going to be seeing the other cousins right away. We're going to be starting out small at first here. How big are we? Not terribly. We're going to find out in a second here. But we're trying to get up to 1 kilometer, and we have 15 minutes to do it. Yeah, 1 meter in size currently. That's our current size, so much larger than we've started on a lot of stages, but in the grand scheme of things, 1 meter is not a very large Katamari, particularly when we're trying to get up to 1,000 meters. Yes, 1 kilometer. And right now we are just rolling up some kales here, and also some darumas, but we're going to be scaling up pretty quickly. This is a as large as possible stage, but it is not a stage from the original Katamari Damacy, which means we're going to be dealing with a higher density of objects, which means that we should hopefully have a pretty smooth trip up to 1 kilometer. And if all goes according to plan, hopefully somewhere between 2 and 3 kilometers will be our actual resting size. But you know, you go to war with the Katamari you have, so we'll see exactly how large we get by the end of this. We still have over 14 minutes left to do it, and I'm rolling around town here, picking up some samurai armor. A lot of very traditionally Japanese things here in this town, but we're going to be seeing all kinds of things as we go along here. Picking up a stilt person there. Yeah, this is a really interesting stage because it doesn't have any particular gimmick to it, but like I feel that the designers went all out on making it interesting, because it's definitely a big one in which you can very easily get lost, but every area seems to just have really interesting things going on in it, like just strange things to look at. Like I pulled a ghost out of a well a second ago, and if I go up to the school over here on the left, we're going to find something interesting behind the school, but I'm not going in that direction quite yet. Still have a few more things to pick up here. You can just compare like this town I'm rolling around in right now to the one from Make a Star 10 that I did a couple of episodes ago. Remember like how few objects there were in the lower area of Pigeon Town? Like I rolled down that hill with the monster trucks and then immediately like could not find anything. And now compare that to my current experience. I'm just jumping around all over the place, rolling up all kinds of things. Oh, and I absolutely love this. The Robo King here telling us, I am the Robo King, which is a throwback to the original game. I think it was on the Make the Moon stage, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a stage in which the king would announce every time you got to a new size category that he was the king. It was really, really interesting. I'm not sure why he felt the need to reassert that, but it was hilarious. Anyway, man, I was saying all kinds of things. I was saying something about getting behind the school. As you can see up there, there's some giant swordfish behind the school. A lot of strange things go on this stage. I really want to know, like, of all the, like, sort of fanciful, maybe fanciful's not the best word, but, like, really just, like, bizarre things that go on some Katamari stages. Like, how many of them are based in like, Eastern folklore that I'm not familiar with, and how many of them are just, like, the designers of the level having these objects and wondering what sort of strange things they can do with them. Because, like, Katamari is not a game that is even remotely concerned with realism or, like, even logic or verisimilitude. It's just, like, building these levels, the designers clearly had objects that they had made to work with, and like they could place those objects however they wanted. Man, if I could see the development versions of some of these stages, I'm sure they made no sense at all whatsoever. It would be really cool to see one of those stages. Because you kind of have to wonder, like, what objects were made to go in specific places, and which ones were just things that like the people working on the game, like, hey, I made this 3D model for this swordfish. What do you guys want to do with it? Well, I guess we'll put it in the water somewhere. But someone was making this stage at some point and said, you know, we've got to do something different with this school. We've got schools on all kinds of stages. How are we going to set this one apart? Let's hide some giant swordfishes behind it. Where does that come from? And as long as I'm talking about the school, it's already been like a minute or something since I left it, but I did grab a royal present on top of that school, and that's actually one of the harder royal presents to find in this game, because you might have noticed that it was very, very small relative to me, and yet I went there at the earliest opportunity. So like, you have to be 3 meters to even get to the schoolyard in this stage, because there are pylons in the way. And yet, once you're at 3 meters, that royal present is small enough that it's almost ready to phase out. So basically, you have to go straight to the schoolyard, use the Prince Hop to get on top of the school, and then get that royal present. Because if you forget about it, and you try to come back later, it's going to be gone. You're going to be too big to get it. So, yeah, definitely one of the harder royal presents to find on the stage, if you're not just hopping all about the place looking for things to roll up, or just like looking for swordfish or whatever. Anyway, picking up some elephants on the highway here as we reach the 13-meter mark. We are now out in the wide world, far from the town we started in. Currently at a... Why is there fire on this Ferris wheel? I'm going to go ahead and put that out. I guess there was a fire truck there already doing the job, but I took care of that. Oh man, I love this whale up here. Look at this whale with wings on it. If I'm not sure how you get it to happen, but if you do something, or you probably just have to come here at a certain size, but if you do something, the whale will actually fly around and follow you. Not really chasing you because he's not small enough, or he's not large enough to bump you, but like he'll just follow you around, and it's really cool. Like, oh, okay, so there's a cousin right here. Oh man, I was too big to get the cousin. Okay, well there's a set of steps there made out of wrestling rings, and the cousin Ryu is on the top one, but I've gotten too large here. So I'm definitely going to be returning to get whatever cousins and royal presents I missed at the end of this. Right now I'm mostly concerned at finishing the stage and hopefully getting the comet. The comet here is actually really easy, so I should be getting that for sure. But yeah, that's what I'm focusing on now, and I'll come back like I did on the energy stage to show you where the rest of this stuff is. And yeah, I was saying something about the flying whale. It reminds me of the windfish. Like, my favorite game as a kid, I don't know if I've said this before, I probably have, was Link's Awakening. And so I've always had a fondness for flying whales, however they may appear. And yeah, flying whales, just yet another of the whimsical, that's what the word I was looking for, not fanciful, whimsical things that you'll encounter in a Katamari stage that just make me wonder where they come from. Like, the creativity in this game is interesting, because like so much of it is like genuine creativity that was probably born out of nowhere, but a lot of it is just like born of restrictions. Like, there were objects created to exist in this world for gameplay purposes, and someone took those objects and built these stages out of them. And like, you can see that they kept themselves restrained to a certain point. Like, there aren't just objects strewn about randomly. It always appears to make sense on the surface. Like, like you have roads that form streets lined with buildings, and like it all appears at a glance to make sense. And then when you look closer is when you notice that there are elephants walking around with crowns on their heads and just things like that. And it's really, really interesting to me. Like, there's on this stage there's a Hollywood sign, because this there are many landmarks represented in the larger Katamari stages, and the letters actually spell out Hollywood on this stage. But on any other stage in which you see those Hollywood letter objects reused, they never actually spell Hollywood. It's always some other pronounceable word made up of those letters, because someone designing that stage decided we need to mix things up this time, or else all of these stages are going to be the same. So let's take these objects and push them around in a different order and let the player discover what has been done here. And like this stage is the one that to me like really speaks to that. Like, yeah, here's the Hollywood sign I was talking about. Like, there's so much here going on to discover. I'm getting the Statue of Liberty here. And, I don't know, if you're someone who typically listens to Let's Plays and doesn't watch them, and I'm frequently guilty of this myself, maybe watch this one. Maybe tab over and look at what's happening right here, because I can't address everything that's happening on the screen. But you're going to see some things. You're going to notice things that I'm not. Because I'm focused on playing the game right now, but it's crazy, it's crazy. Okay, so here I'm picking up that Ferris wheel from earlier that is no longer on fire, and I'm looking to finally get away from this landmass and explore the larger world a little bit. First, let's get the second and final royal present. You may have seen it there. It's on top of this mountain, and there you go. This is another royal present that's actually pretty hard to find. It's actually in a really obvious location. Like, there's a storied tradition in Katamari games of mountaintop, volcano top royal presents. It's just that one is really small, and you've got to just, like, you've got to get big enough to get on top of the mountain, and then once you're actually on top of the mountain, you've got to take it really slow to make sure that you actually stop on top of and are able to obtain the present. Because otherwise, you can very easily just roll over it. Alright, so there's the second broken heart. This one, the instantaneous variety. Let's avoid that Jumbo Man who's just surely going to kick us around. And pick up Norn, is that our first royal cousin that we've actually obtained on this stage? Man, there have been several available to us, but the first I've actually rolled up here is Norn. So, glad to have that one on board. I just picked up some islands that were actually giant sea turtles. Yeah, speaking of whimsical things, it's turtles all the way down. Because if you just see those islands, yeah, here some are. They appear like islands at first, but if you get larger than them, then they begin to run away from you, the way all animals traditionally do in Katamari games. If you're large enough to roll them up, then without knocking them over first, they're going to run away from you. And that's like your first indicator that those are living things rather than just land masses. If you work your way out there when you're not large enough to roll them up yet, they'll just be islands, but you get a little bit bigger and they're islands that run away from you. And then it's when you roll them up that you realize that they were in fact turtles with islands on their back. And that's a bit more of the like constructed whimsy I was talking about, where like, yes, some of the objects in this game were designed to be in themselves creative and interesting, and they're not all swordfish being used outside of their intended purpose. And there's a very large very large cousin there, and we're going to start seeing a lot of those now. So like I was saying, yep, here's another one right up here. Like I was saying, if you're a fan of cousins, you're going to be a fan of this stage because there are a ton of them here, and a lot of them are doing really interesting things. I hope I can get over to Velvet. I want to show what Velvet's doing. I want to show what Daisy's doing. There are a lot of cousins. And look, all right, here's Signolo. Look at this. There's a Jumbo Man chasing a Godzilla thing, chasing Signolo. It's fantastic. The stuff you're going to find on this stage just by wandering around, I can't even express right now in words how just wonderful it is. You've really got to just explore it. And like the stage is easy enough. Like as big as it is, it's pretty hard to fail at this if you're reasonably experienced at the game, which by this point you surely are. Like, you're not gonna have trouble finishing it. So like there's no pressure. I'm free to just wander around. The stage is built in such a way that I'm not really in danger of getting to somewhere I shouldn't be and not being able to roll things up. I can just go explore this wide ocean filled with islands, filled with Kinoko, and yeah, here's Velvet. Check out Velvet. She's so hottie, she's going to space. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm gonna take you right to space, all aboard the Katamari. Is this the prince riding this dragon? It looks like it, but you never know for sure whether it's the prince or one of his doppelgangers. I can't even get the prince. His dragon is defending him. Alright, so I'll have to come back and get him later. I saw a cousin, I think it was Shy, yeah, on top of that rainbow there, just walking around on top of the rainbow. Fantastic stuff. Here's the throwback to the original Katamari. We have a Jumbo Man actually throwing, in classic Mario 64 style, one of the Godzilla-type monsters. So say so long to him. I saw the rainbow cousin over there, but we're leaving her behind. Gotta keep moving here. Gotta keep rolling up as many things as I can. And just got Shikao, adding that to the list of cousins we've encountered here. And there's Daisy. Oh man, I didn't even get to show what Daisy was doing. She's like facing off with, there's some kind of like Sasquatch? I don't remember what it is. There's some like giant beast, and she's like facing off with it the way a bull faces off with a matador. It's really fantastic. We probably picked up like 20 cousins by now. There's so many of them on this stage. Okay, nearly to our goal. Only 1 minute left on the clock. I've been doing a bad job. This is not going to be a comet, is it? Wow, I can't believe that. After all that talk about how low pressure this stage is, I guess I was not taking my duties seriously enough, because I haven't even reached the goal, and there's a minute now. So let's do this. Let's grab this this giant jumbo papa there, and as many other things as I can before time runs out. Yeah, so like, it's not atypical at all to reach 3 kilometers on this stage, but struggling to get 1 right now. Maybe I can get up to 2 before the time runs out, but it's doubtful. Things do tend to scale exponentially, but that seems a little bit ambitious. Oh, and these angels. Yeah, they're angels on this stage, which is another throwback to the original game, where they indicated that you were large enough to unlock an Eternal stage. Alright, so we're in the floating city here, picking up Twinkle and, oh, I forget her name, but the black cousin with all of the rainbow-colored spots on her. I forget her name. Anyway, and here's Honey in that whirlpool. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get her before time runs out, but at least we reached the goal. Robo Rainbow! Alright, so I'm clearly going to have to do that one over again, but let's see how we did that time around. How did we perform? So scared of the king. Yes, the king himself does make an appearance on this stage if you get large enough. It's enough to scare the Robo King away from this stage, despite it being in his own cosmos. So yeah, we took 14 minutes and 15 seconds, which is a lot more time than was actually needed. Alright, mostly got nature, also plants and industry, for a total of over 8,000 objects. Also plants and industrial things. Alright, our score... Whoa! That is unacceptable. 7 points? Was I really slacking that much that I got 7 points out of 100? That is unacceptable. I can't even believe I did that poorly. Alright, well, there's our first royal present. Guess what it is? I did get both of them this roll, so I do have something to show for it. And in addition to these royal presents, what else have I got? There's a cousin. That's Norn. Elish Norn herself. We'll add her to the village square. And let's make a big bang out of this Katamari. And you can see the dragon poking out. That's fantastic. Yeah, Eruption Big Bang worth a mere 7 points. No shooting star to go with that. We do, however, have a Jumbo Men cutscene, and this is actually a really great one. It actually makes sense, and it ties everything together in a great way. And I'll see you when it's done.
The star plunging towards Earth has changed its trajectory. Experts are looking into the cause.
All right, dinner's almost ready, children. Okay, Mom.
Oh, I can feel it. The rhythmic breathing of the cosmos. It's slowly falling asleep.
It's really good to hear from Michiru again. She feels the cosmos like nobody's business. Anyway, I've got my new royal presents here, the Mount Fuji and the Thunder Drums. Fumin's one of those cousins who doubles any royal present that you put on his head, so we're actually seeing 2 Mount Fujis with a city down in the valley between his 2 headpieces, and of course a wonderful sun up above. Okay, so this time around, I still have to get the comet. I additionally still have to get 3 cousins, though if I don't get those ones this go, I'm not too worried about that. I'm mostly interested in just putting up a better performance than that 7-point massacre that just happened. So I'm going to be doing my best to do that in the next 15 minutes, and I'm hoping that my throat doesn't give out because I'm certainly not used to doing all of this talking at once. So I just already got a cousin, Nickel. I totally forgot that Nickel was right there. How did I not get him last time? I was rolling all around this town. How did I not see that there was a cousin simply standing there last time? But no matter, we've got Nickel now. RoboKing saying something about wheels. Alright, I guess Nickel's got those. I'm not actually sure what Nickel looks like, despite just rolling him up. He was hiding around a corner there. I didn't get a good look at him. Okay, so anyway, working my way up to 3 meters so that I can get into the schoolyard right now. Or, actually, I can get to the schoolyard, I just can't get to the pool. Is that right? Well, let's head in that direction. Yeah, okay. I can get to the schoolyard, which means I can pick up these large students here, and that should help me on my way up to 3 meters, at which point I will be able to get beyond the school. Okay, here we are. 3 meters. I said last time that you needed to be 3 meters to get to the school to be able to get the royal present, but that wasn't exactly accurate, though you do need to be roughly 3 meters in order to be able to hop up there. As you can see, I just did a prince hop and I wasn't actually tall enough to get up on top of the school, but I could have jumped onto that little ledge right above the entrance and then jumped again from that to get on top of the school. But we already have that royal present, so not something I'm concerned with at the moment. We are going at the earliest opportunity into the 3 meter zone, crossing the pool there, and just sort of following this trail of objects that went across the river and now through these roads. Trying to get, as soon as possible, up to the point where we can roll cars. So the basic flow of Katamari in these larger stages is you go from rolling up small things, to people, to vehicles, to houses. And once you've gotten to houses, it's all golden from there. You can go from small residences up to sort of like large residences and schools and things, and then up to the skyscrapers and your industrial buildings. And once you get past those, then you're rolling up land masses, and it gets a lot easier as you go. Like, the big milestones are always people and cars. Like, those are the ones that you have to get as fast as you can, because like those are sizes that I talked about this a lot in my Katamari Damacy Let's Play, so I'm repeating myself here. But like, those are the sizes that there are a larger number of objects at, which is why those thresholds are so important. It's not simply that like I'm a person like looking for patterns in a chaotic universe. It's not that. It's that there actually are more objects at those sizes because there are so many people on these stages, and once you get a little bit larger, there are so many vehicles. I cannot believe that I just hit an invisible wall there. That's ridiculous. I'm not even anywhere near pylons. How was I to know that I'm not supposed to go that way? Okay, well, not doing particularly great this time, kind of repeating last time. I don't know actually where I was at this time last time, but I do know that I ended up looking at the clock near the end of that last run and realizing that I had significantly less time than I'm used to. Like, come on, like I was saying, 3 kilometers, definitely possible, not even that challenging from what I remember. But yet here we are, didn't even reach 2 kilometers last time. But really, all I want to do is get to the goal with 2 minutes remaining on the clock, which is, I believe, all it takes to get that shooting star. So let's do that. Still got 10 minutes on the clock, really nothing to worry about here as I work my way up to 10 meters, meaning I'm at 1% of my final size, or at least my current desired size. Alright, that was a fruitful quick roll, but if I go this way, I'm going to be back where I ran into that invisible wall earlier. Is that still there? No, okay. I wonder if just reaching 12 meters is what allowed me to come up here. Maybe I was jumping too high and that's why I hit an invisible wall? I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm now 12 meters, which means I can go in this direction, and as always, it's a good idea if you're right around the benchmark to just go ahead and get the pylons, since you know that those objects are right at the size you want to be rolling. but can I get these buses? I can't get these buses yet, which is a shame, because it's really nice to be able to just roll along this road and pick everything up without just kicking it to the side like I am. Like, because I just kicked everything to the side, I now have to retrace my steps to get all of those objects. I think it's kind of worth it, though. Yeah, alright, so I'm gonna bend down here and pick up these buildings. Alright, so now, I'm much more on track this time than I was last time, because this is exactly the part of the map that I want to be on when I'm at this size, because there's a good variety of buildings right in this area. So right here I'm picking up these brick buildings and like these cargo containers, and I'm going to work my way up to rolling the other buildings in this area, but I'm going to get up to that point just by picking up the buildings that are in this immediate area, or at least that's the plan. It's taking me a little longer in practice than I'd like, but yeah, okay. So like, being near that 12 meter mark when I hit 12 meters was nice, because I was able to follow that roadway and get right here, and like this area is like really well designed to bring your Katamari up from being, you know, about 15 meters to being, as I am now, over 30 meters, and now it's time for me to move on. So what's the next intended area? Because like obviously, because that was so easy for me, I was working along an intended path. So I guess the next intended direction would be over here, because here I'm seeing some more large buildings that are larger than the buildings I just came from. Yeah, this is beautiful. Okay. So this is what rolling buildings is all about. And there are those wrestling rings again, which reminds me that once again I missed the cousin Ryu, which is unfortunate. Okay, so yeah, now we're getting beyond the building stage and out into the end game, which on this stage represents most of the stage. Like, as you can see, over half the time remaining as I deplete the buildings available to me on this island and start looking toward getting to other islands. But we've got some landmarks here first. Is that a new cousin? Oh yeah, it is. Right here on top, this Loch Ness monster, we have Nutsuo. Fantastic. Something with blue stripes. Okay. Clock just ticked down to 7 minutes. What is this helicopter doing around that tower? Let's get that helicopter. There's actually no point in me getting that helicopter, except that I wanted to jump anyway, so that I could shoot off in this direction. And that's actually the wrong direction, so I'm going to turn around, because now that we're 60 meters, the Robo King informs me that I want to head that way, so let's do that ASAP. Don't want to waste any more time, since I do still feel like I should have done this faster up until this point, but that's okay, no matter. I do think that I am going to, well, I think that I'm currently on a good pace. Crap, where did the cones go? Where was that? Okay, the American cones are over in that direction. Okay, yeah, like I was saying, feeling better about this one. I guess without the distraction of the royal presence this time. I did lose some time getting both of the royal presents last time around, so I suppose that would be cause for it taking a little bit longer than I'm used to. Anyway, whoa. Yeah, that what do you call it? That purple jumbo man is quite the hazard, but that's okay. He's large enough that we can see him coming, at least. I'm in a bad place. Oh, no, I didn't see him coming. Alright, let's get out of here. I'm in a bad place. Gotta get back onto land. It's easy to find objects that are around your size on this stage, but you've got to be on land to make it happen. Actually, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Now I'm back on track now, because I'm going to get this broken heart, and that's going to pull in all of these pyramids, and I'm used to being able to get that cousin right after I get that broken heart, but I didn't that time. Really got to find some stuff. Man, my optimism just like shot down when I started running out of objects that were at my size, and I still can't get Norn. Alright, where am I supposed to be right now? Let's see here. Over the Golden Gate Bridge, back where we came from. Gonna find some larger objects back in that direction. Okay, and here's some large buildings that I'm now able to roll up, along with that Ferris wheel and some other large landmarks. Probably can't get that liner. Oh, I did. I actually did get that, or not liner, tanker, rather, the big ship. Okay. Feeling better now, but I've really got to get on it, because the timer says 5 minutes, and I want the timer to say 2 minutes when I reach 1 kilometer. Currently at a little less than 200 meters, actually just surpassed 200 meters. That's good. Let's get this Jumbo Man here. All the Jumbo Men appear on this stage, which is appropriate, considering this is the farewell to the Jumbo Men storyline, this being the finale episode, which means that we get our final loading icon for the game. Not something that you're seeing a lot as the viewer, but if you were playing the game, you would see it a lot more. particularly since you would be like replaying stages and things, but also because you see a little bit less loading watching the Let's Play than you do seeing the game itself. Anyway, we can now go just about anywhere. We can now go beyond this island to the other islands where all of the cousins are hanging out, just maxing and relaxing, and doing all sort of unique things unique to the cousin. You get to see each of the cousins' personalities shine a little bit, some of them doing more interesting things than others, beyond just sort of chilling, taking a bath in that lake there. But yeah, just look at Honey over here using this whirlpool with an unfortunately stuck ship in it, like it's a jacuzzi or something. Anyway, I have to carry on somewhere else. Ooh, hey Nick, you're nice and big. I mean that in the best way possible, Nick. I mean you're contributing well to the Katamari. Not saying anything about your weight. Snagged Velvet off of that rocket without taking the rocket itself. Alright, so I'm back here where I started, which means that I can now pick up some of the land masses here that were beneath all of those buildings. That's good to see. Lots of stuff coming out of that tornado there, but I don't have time to wait for it. It's not the... Waiting for objects to spin around something or like fly out of something is generally not as fruitful as going out and finding objects yourself in this game. And let's see, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going places trying to find things. Alright, clock says 3 minutes, which means I really need to get on it. You've heard me clicking the control sticks desperately, despite the fact that I'm breathing ghosts. Not looking good right here. Let's see, is this island going to do it? Because I don't think I have much time left. I've got to use what this island has to give me. Come on. Ooh, it's gonna be really close. Can I make it to that island? Give me some land masses. Time is running out. Gotta get 100 more meters, like, immediately. Immediately. Come on, give me something. Come on. Time is running out. I should not be in the air. I've got to get on the ground. Give me some ice. Yes, ice. Give it to me. I need to roll up all these icebergs, and I only have a few seconds left. Give me something. Give me some whales. Yes! Okay, I hit it. I hit it. Okay. The timer still says 3 minutes, which means I think I have the shooting star as I hit 1 kilometer there. And why don't I try to get as large as I can with these last 2 minutes I have given to me? Certainly, I think it's likely that I'll be hitting 2 kilometers here. Let's see how much more I can get than that. You still hear me clicking desperately the control sticks, trying to do quick rolls. Man, you exhaust those quick rolls so quickly when you're actually using them. And like these big stages where you're rolling from island to island and like there are no useful objects in between the islands is where the quick roll really shines. That was true way back on Make the Moon in the original game, and it's certainly true here. Even though this stage is a lot denser than Make the Moon and like the islands are closer together, that was an incredible leap I just did there. You could see for miles. Anyway, yeah, you can actually see the curvature of the Earth on this stage, which is cool. I think the stage just loops around, but it does it a little bit more elegantly than Make the Moon. If you didn't play the original Katamari Damacy, the final stage, Make the Moon, is the stage that this stage that we're on currently is modeled after. We'll actually be playing Make the Moon as it reappears in this game pretty soon, but in any case, at the end of that stage, you would reach a point that was similar to this one, where you could go anywhere on a sort of planet, and if you went off one side of the map, you would end up on the other, but it wasn't done in a very fluid fashion. There was a circle of mushrooms that indicated that you were on the edge of the world, and if you drove past it, it would like fade to white and then fade back in and you would be on the opposite side. So the technology at the time that game was made was a little more limited. I'm still quite frankly amazed that the first game works, or that any of these games work. Like, they're all pretty technically impressive. Like, you can say what you want about the lag on some of these stages. It's generally not that bad, but like on a couple of them it's noticeable. But like the sheer number of objects that have to be rendered and accounted for in this game, and like the ingenious way in which they're like faded in as you get larger, and or like faded out and in as you get larger, it's all really impressive. I'd be very interested in better understanding how this game works on the back end, but you know, I can only imagine how it, I don't know, I mean, I'm interested in stuff like that, but I know that a lot of people aren't. Anyway, 2 kilometers, 500 meters, 30 seconds left. Like I said, a score between 2 and 3 kilometers is pretty typical for this stage, so I'm pretty satisfied. I don't think that this is going to be a 100-point score. I'm pretty sure you have to get the 3 kilometers to get 100 points, but we might be looking at... Well, alright, I'm not going to speculate. I will just say this is better than a 7-point score. And actually, are we looking at the 3 meters here? No, we're not looking at the 3 meters here. Running out of objects. Maybe this giant octopus here? Can I? Yeah! Oh, man! Look at that! Right at the buzzer, reaching the 3 kilometer point. Fantastic. I'm so satisfied with this. Okay, Robo Rainbow! Alright, so let's get to the score. This has been an absurdly long episode, and I don't want to waste any more of your time. Oh, hey, there's that load icon I was talking about. Yeah, don't want to waste any more of your time. I've still got to show off where those last cousins are. Don't worry, I'll get to those. Right now, we've got to check on the final score of this Katamari. Just clicking through dialogue here. We got nature things and space things and plants. Oh, not space things, street things, whatever. 80 points. There you go. That's a B-. Perfectly legitimate score, nothing to be ashamed of there. There is our robotic new cousin. Oh yeah, those are the wheels he was talking about. I knew there were some wheels involved. Also wheels on drive, but anyway, here's our striped cousin, Nutsuo. And we are going to make a brand new Big Bang. We're replacing our Eruption Big Bang with the similarly but differently named Evolution Big Bang, an improvement of 73 points and nearly 2 kilometers. Yes, much better this time around. So, let's go back and find those last... Is it just one? Yeah, let's find that last royal cousin. Wait, is it really just the one? Is it really just Ryu, the one that I've mentioned that I knew where he was both times that I don't have? Anyway, we'll go get that guy now. Yes, I'm playing this 15-minute stage over again so I can show you this. What? He's stuck in the tower. Get out of the tower. Ryu! Okay, thanks. Got Ryu. So, I've got everything from this stage. Make a star 11 as large as possible. Thank you so much for sticking through with me. I know this has been a long one, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you again next time.